This is Mitch, and welcome to the 1000houses.com podcast. And I'm here with Chris Ronzio, and we're going to be talking about something that I know a whole bunch of y'all out there need. You know you need help. You know you need to train your help on what to do. You know that being a one-man show is just a pathway to burnout and a lot of missed opportunities. And so this is the perfect guy to talk to today. Chris Ronzio, how you doing?
Amazing. Thanks for having me, Mitch.
Okay, I need to pay homage to my sponsor. Today, the sponsor is livecom.com. That's LIVECOMM.com. It's a lead generation system that you do with your telephone. You buy phone numbers there for like $2, and every phone number comes with a text distribution list attached to it. And if anybody calls your phone number or your Livecom phone number from a cell phone, you're going to capture them in a text distribution list. And then you can text these people for 2 cents per text per person, say. And so like I have 24,000 people that want to know the next time I have a new owner financed home for sale. And for 2 cents a piece, I can hit them right between the eyes with a text. And we all know how many times we ignore our text messages compared to how many times we ignore emails. Text messages have a huge open rate compared. So it's a perfect target, man. You put out signs, you generate calls, then those calls are captured, and you can reach out and touch them any time you want to for 2 cents a piece. So it's a great tool to have. All right, we paid the bills there, Chris. So
that sounds awesome. I've been doing a lot of texting lately, so it sounds very useful.
There's a lot of features there. Just go to the homepage and check it out. Some pretty unique features. A lot of places didn't have the things I wanted, so we just built what I wanted. So you're in Boston, Massachusetts, right? Sitting there right now, and you help businesses get their collective crap together so that they can get unburied and get to the part that makes money.
Yes, we say get your business out of your brain, because that's where most of what we do is stuck.
Yes. So give us a little bit of your background and tell us how you got here, and then we'll talk about what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been running my own business, different businesses for the last 20 years. Started in high school, built a nationwide video production company that did youth sporting events. So we had hundreds of camera operators that were shooting events in all 50 states. And such a big part of that was our systems, like how we made the logistics work, how we made them show up and operate on our behalf and do what we did when it was just me as an army of one. And so growing that business and selling that business led to my consulting firm, which was the next business that was helping other entrepreneurs and other small companies turn into bigger companies. How do they, systematize what they do, put technology in place, and then operationalize it, train people so that they can scale up. And so after that business, that's where Trainual came from. And Trainual is just a software that enables you to do that. So think all the processes, all the how-tos, all the training, all the roles, responsibilities, all in one central place, online or on your phone. And that's what Trainual does.
All right. So you're giving away some stuff for our listeners today. What are you giving away?
Yeah. So one of the hardest things, I think, when you're just getting started with process is trying to figure out what they all are. Like, what are the areas of your business that you need to create some clarity or some training for? So we put together a checklist, a cheat sheet, a guide that's got over 200 areas of your business that you should start thinking through. And I think we're linking to it on your site, right?
Yeah. 1000houses.com, Trainual, Traineual. And so go over there and get that free list, and you'll be amazed at how many things you really need to not be doing, and that you can get out of your head and get onto someone else's plate. It's quite an eye opener. It was even helpful for me because it's hard. This guy's a pro and he knows all the places to look. I'm just trying to, as an entrepreneur, I'm winging it, and I think I got places to look, and then all of a sudden I see all these other places, and I'm saying, wow, Chris is right. I didn't even think of that. So check it out, 1000houses.com/Trainual. All right, man. So give us a case study.
Sure.
What's one of your most successful case studies?
Yeah, so a company I was just talking to the other day, they have now over 500 employees, started using Trainual when they had two. They're a graphic design company with people around the world that do graphic design services. So in real estate, this could be, the yellow letters you send out, or the postcards you make, or the ads for your website or your email newsletter. And think of this company as buying a very cheap graphic design service. So when they started out, it was just one business person and one designer. Now they've got over 500. And so to scale that quickly in just a few years, you've got to perfect your system. And so their system was, how do we sell our subscription services? How do we intake requests, all the requests that we get? How do we process each one of those? Where do we store the files? How do we send links over to people? And so each designer that they bring on is trained through that process. And so, that's just one example over the last few years, but we've got thousands and thousands of businesses, customers in 120 plus countries now, that are using Trainual to make the playbook for their business. So it's not industry specific. It's not company size specific. It's really just, when you're at a place in your business where you can't do everything anymore, you've got to peel off some of those hats and take off some of those responsibilities. And the way you do that is to give someone else clear instructions. And so a lot of people that are listening, maybe you've tried, writing out long emails, or put together long Word docs or 3-ring binders. And that stuff just doesn't work that well. It's not repeatable. And so we built a system to make it a lot easier.
Wow, that's impressive. From 0 to 500, that's quite an accomplishment. Where does a person generally start? How would they start with you? I mean, who's the perfect client for you?
The perfect client is someone that's got some repeatable systems in their business, and they're trying to pass those off to someone else. So you would come to us with a use case in mind where, maybe you can't do all the admin work. You can't do all the contracts anymore. You can't schedule all the showings or appointments. You're hiring your first virtual assistant. You've got some motivation to start to create some structure in your business. And so you'd come into Trainual, you'd sign up, and you'd start to piece together the playbook for your company. So we start you off with just, put your own logo in there, make it look and feel like your own. And then we've got 60 or 70 pre-built templates that you can use for everything from your orientation of, training your new person on just what your business means, to very real estate specific training on, how you put together certain contracts, or how you show a house, or how you do market an investment. And so these are things we're producing, pumping out all the time, but it really just starts with somebody that wants to train somebody on something, and you want to do it in a consistent way. So if that person doesn't work out, if they turn over, or if you're needing to add people and train the same thing over and over again, you don't have to repeat yourself. So you explain it once, you put it in the system with either recorded videos or graphics or text or links or documents. And once it's set up, you don't have to touch it again. You just assign it to the next person and the next person.
So if I'm a prospective client, how am I looking at this in expense? What can I expect to, as far as expense goes, to help me get to where I'm going using your company?
Yeah, so unlike a lot of tools, we don't charge per user. It's a simple package that starts for your whole company at 99 bucks a month. So when you think of all the policies in your handbook and how you do what you do, your processes, your descriptions of each person, a directory of all your people, it's the place that defines who and how in your business. And so it starts at 99 bucks a month. You make the investment, pay monthly, get a discount, pay annually, and it's that simple.
All right. So, this is the difference between, well, let's just put it this way. My partner, Mike, and I deliberated on getting him a personal assistant for maybe 2 years. It was a topic of conversation. I really need an assistant. I don't really want to have to train him. I'm so busy. Part of the problem is you're usually so busy that you don't have time to step back and train. So this is a good reason to get some help. You're still going to have to invest some time because, Chris can't just read your mind, or you've got to fill him in, but take the onus of how to do it off your shoulders. So we finally decided to get a good assistant in today's market. We had to pay at least $15 an hour, $36,000 a year. They didn't have to be geniuses, but they needed to be a certain kind of person. We were doing personality testing, and the resumes, basically the resume said, if you want a chance at this job, you have to take this test. And, don't even call us. Just take this test, do X, Y, and Z, and then we'll get it. And then we'll call you back if your personality fits what we need. And we did that. We found the right person. About 3 weeks into having this person, my partner Mike calls me and goes, dude, we're so dumb for not doing this so long ago. He goes, because we're paying an extra $40,000 a year, he says, we are clearly going to make an extra $150,000 this year. It's just the handwriting's on the wall. I'm freed up now to go do everything that makes the money, the things I should have been doing, instead of, running to turn off utilities and trying to get money back from this deposit and, just doing bullshit, basically.
Well, that's how it's supposed to work, right?
Yeah, right. Well, I know. And I just want to give my own real life testimony is hiring help, that expense, if you're looking at it right and you're doing it right, it should make you money. It means they're gonna generate more than they cost. Yeah. And then you have a better quality of life.
Right. It's an investment. It's not an expense. If you hire the right person, it's different if you're going to hire a full-time barista or masseuse to do nothing for your business, right? That's an expense. If you're going to hire someone to help you with your business, it's because it's freeing up time for you. It's leveraging someone else's time so you can go make above and beyond whatever you're paying them. So anyone that's just thinking of hiring their first person or their first couple people, you've got to run the equation and say, how am I freeing up enough time to make this worthwhile? I think too many people hire that first person and think, how can I break even on this person so I'm not losing money? And I think you can go into the equation and say, like you said, how do I turn this 36 into 150? And make that plan their training plan. Say what do they need to take off your plate for you to go justify that ROI? And that's what you train them on. That's what you communicate as the expectation, that they're accomplishing this, and this by their 1 month or 3 month mark. And that's how you make a higher payoff.
I mean, even if you miss the mark completely at 150 and they only make 70 or they only make 60, it's still a plus. It would be if you spent 36 and you only increased your business by 60,000, my next question would be, how many times can I do that? Let's do it as often as possible. Let's hire 20 of those people if it all works the same,
Right.
I'll take that margin times 20. So when I would look at our business, when I'm talking to the real estate investors out there or the young entrepreneurs, I say there's some really easy things to sub out right off the bat. Bookkeeping, for heaven's sakes, don't do your own taxes. There's some, where do a lot of people start? Is there some obvious places that people start over and over again?
A lot of administrative stuff like scheduling is a big thing for a lot of us, or processing email or answering phones or returning voicemails. There's simple services for your bookkeeping, like you mentioned, or for your, a call service that will take all the calls and send you the recorded messages so that they're screening things for you, or processing leads. I know a lot of people will hire VAs to research properties, to run comps, to do their marketing, to email out opportunities that they have. These are all things that aren't our unique abilities as the entrepreneur. The person that's the deal maker in the business needs to be focusing on those big picture sourcing the right opportunities, or making the right connections, and not executing on these things that could be done by someone that's well trained to do them.
Yeah. So I just want to be clear here. Do you help in the process of finding the right person, or is that outside your scope?
We don't directly, but Trainual has a whole army of certified consultants that work with business owners. So if you want someone that you hire to be a consultant to work with you on sourcing people, on building out your processes, we have consultants that can do that. Trainual itself is just a simple software tool to help you with templates and with our support team to help you get started.
So $99 a month, that seems almost ridiculous not to take advantage of that, if you ask me, because that's, you know, add that to your assistant's pay, an extra $1,200 a year. That's really a non-issue, you know, if you use it right and get done what you're trying to get done. $99 a month is going to be chump change in the big picture.
Yeah.
So,
And a lot of times it falls on your number two person to manage it. And so, you know, as big picture thinkers, entrepreneurs, you know, your first hire is probably someone to counterbalance you, to do some of the administrative work. And then any other hires would be, you know, to help scale your business, to help, you know, handle the volume of leads that you've got, or help you do marketing. And so your first administrative person, if anyone listening has one of those, they can actually own the system. You know, they can build out your Trainual account and connect the dots and create this asset for your business. Because I think one of the things that's valuable, you know, you mentioned before we jumped on here, you've got courses, you've got this expertise you've built, you have processes that you can train other people to do. And a lot of people listening might have those types of processes, but they've never written them down. So, you know, Trainual is a place where you encapsulate how you do what you do, and you can monetize that even, you know?
yes. And so, and the other thing is, it really helps you if you lose a key person and you haven't documented all they do and their legacy knowledge. You know, you're in for a heartache when that person walks or demands a huge pay hike, or they're going to walk. You got yourself over a barrel. You start from the very beginning, getting these people to document what they do, so that in the event, you know, heaven forbid, you know, they get transferred or they die or something happens, there's a life event happens and they no longer can be your person, then it is so much, you're saving yourself a huge amount of panic at that moment by having thought ahead about that position and preparing yourself to fill that position with someone new if you ever need to.
Yeah. A lot of you have talked about, you know, do you buy, do you rent? I think everybody knows, you know, you buy a property and you're building an asset, right? You own something. Whereas if you're paying rent, you're just, you're paying, you've got nothing to show for it. But then when you think about the people whose salaries you're paying or whose hourly wages you're paying, if you're just paying for them to do the work and you've got nothing to show for it at the end, you've never documented, you've never written it down, and they leave, all you were doing was paying rent this whole time. You were renting that salary. Whereas if you have them start to write down what they do and how they do it, and you capture that knowledge, then if they move on to the next opportunity, you've built an asset. You've got all their experience captured. And it's really important that you take the time to do that. So it was funny, in the first year, we joked around calling it like the 2-week notice tool, because I've consulted for businesses that had a key person that puts in their notice. And what do you say to that person their last couple of weeks? It's like, please write down everything that you do so I can train the next person. And, you know, so that's something that you can do in the application, is get them to write down everything they do, keep, you know, maintain access for the next few weeks, even when they get into their next job, and they can help train the next person without even being there.
Yeah, that's great. So again, go over to 1000houses.com/Trainual. Trainual, and check out the freebie over there. He's going to give you 200 things that you could systematize, or you can explain it better. Tell us again what it is.
Yeah, it's all the areas of your business, the departments, processes, policies that you probably haven't even thought about formally writing down, but you'd be surprised how much of that just exists in your head. So sometimes the first step is just jogging your mind, and that's what this checklist or this guide is designed to do.
All right, man. I think this is a great interview. I think a lot of people really do need to sit down and, what do you have, a consult, or if someone's interested and they go over there, what can they expect when they first contact your company? What can they expect?
Yeah, so easiest thing is just sign up for a free trial. It's you don't even have to put in a credit card. You get to kick the tires on the tool. You get to see all the templates that we have, and you'll start to hear from our customer success team, which is the in-house department that we've built to help thousands of companies get started. So you'll hear from our team, and then if you want to just do it yourself and set it up, then you're off to the races. Otherwise, if you want to work with a consultant and have it kind of done for you, then we've got a whole directory of them as well.
All right, good. So I'd like to thank everybody for stopping by to get you some Chris Ronzio. And any last words you'd like to say to the audience, maybe before we wrap it up?
Yeah, just a reminder that, everything that you're doing today and everything that you're doing this week, there are things hidden in there that someone else can do. And if you want to do more of what you love, if you want to do more of the high value activities in your business to grow your business, to make more profit, think about what you can take off your plate. And whenever you're ready, whenever that time is, when you've got something to delegate, think of Trainual as the place to write it all down.
I've done this. I've given this exercise to many of my students who are overwhelmed. And I said, okay, I want you to set up your phone so that you get a reminder every hour on the hour. And you need to write down what you were doing during that last 60 minutes. And then at the end of the day, we're going to go back and start checking off. Could someone else have done this? Why am I doing it? And then answer the questions, why did I have to do that? And you'll find out that a lot of your day is busy work way below your pay grade. And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to eliminate work that's below your pay grade. And, so if you figure out that you're worth $200 an hour, then if you're doing anything that you could sub that out for less than $200 an hour, then it just makes sense. And it might be nice just to have a breather sometimes so you can get some quality of life. You can free up your mind and be fresh for the next day instead of running yourself ragged to the end of every day and getting frazzled, because it's a recipe for burnout. I was doing everything, selling my own houses and everything. I was getting to where I was answering the phone like, hi, this is Mitch. What the hell do you want? It was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah.
I was like the worst salesman for my company because I just had enough and I couldn't take anymore. Yeah. And someone pointed it out and I said, okay, I'm never selling a house again. So I guess I'm going to have to figure out what to do.
Oh, such a good point. I think, what I've recommended is scroll through your list of texts, scroll through all your sent email. If you keep a calendar, look at your calendar. You can do one of these logs, these time logs kind of retroactively and just say, where do I spend all my time? Like what took up all the time today? I think the reminder, like you mentioned, is a great idea. And then the tip you had about someone's hourly rate, it's a pretty simple exercise. You take what you want to make in a year and you divide it by 2,080 working hours or something like that, you get your hourly rate. And then you've got to just be kind of cutthroat about it. I remember when I did that exercise the first time, I stopped driving to around town. I only used Uber or Lyft, and I would be doing emails in the back seat because that was a better use of my time for a half hour. Or I would hire someone, a stranger, to come over and do laundry at my house so I could be closing deals because I had this basket of laundry I didn't want to get to. And so you can get pretty neurotic with this, but it's a really important exercise.
This is a great point because like when I got into that mindset and I started measuring and I started calculating and I started, getting into it, really taking it seriously, my wife would say, hey, can you stop by and get the dry cleaning? It's like, honey, I'm worth about $800 an hour. Can we find someone else to do that? Now, she didn't appreciate that at all. But slowly and painfully, may I add, she started to come around to the idea that I'm not doing certain things. I don't mow the lawn anymore. I don't trim trees. I don't take out the trash. I don't, if there's anything someone can do that's not making an extraordinarily hourly rate, then someone else really needs to do it. Unless you enjoy it. I have a ranch, like that's my background there. I enjoy getting in my tractor and shredding 15 feet wide lanes down through the center of my ranch so I can see the animals and stuff. It's work and I can hire someone and it's below my pay grade, but for me, it's a cathartic thing that I do. It's something I put on my headphones, I get my beverage of choice, I fire up my tractor and I get in some kind of ozone that for some reason I enjoy. Is it work? Yeah, but I enjoy it. So
Yeah. Well, that's different.
that would be the
I like it.
difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the difference. All right, my friend, you've been really fun to talk to. I think I would like to get you know better. I'm going to talk to my office. We're going to sign up for a free trial. Again, just go to 1000houses.com/train. You'll get your free stuff, get your free trial, and check it out. No obligation. And then if you need more help, there's contact information over there. Get with them, explain your situation, and at least find out what they have to offer, and then you can start to weigh where you're at in your business and if it's time, or if you're ready. Because nothing's any good if you're not ready. I like to say, and some of these things, you have to make sure that your I've had enough meter is pegged way over in the red, and then you'll get it done. So if you're not there yet, you will be. Yeah, if you're not there yet, you will be. Write this down: 1000houses.com/trainual, TRAINUAL, because it's sooner or later you're going to hit that. You're going to get pegged over in the red over there, and you're not going to want to do it, or you're not going to be able to do it anymore because you're just exasperated. And please don't wait that long, because I find you have to put out some energy to get anything done, and you'll have to put out some energy to get this done. It's hard to do when you're on empty, so don't wait till you're on empty, because then it gets extraordinarily hard to do anything but sleep.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, so I appreciate you, man. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by to get you some Chris Ronzio, and thanks a lot, Chris.
Thanks,